Welcome everybody to Inkblot Meet and Greet with Naz and Taymesan. How you doing?
I'm here, you can see me.
Are you sure?
You
know we can actually try and gaslight Zulu this entire episode. I just be talking past time.
We don't know who you are in this podcast.
I mean, who is that?
I don't know. Please. And this guest that we have.
No, but you know, like Invisible Man, that thing you pointed out, whether they filmed it, like his person is there, but he's invisible.
Yeah,
so Zulu is
we don't talk to you. Okay,
yes, we just ignore you.
Zulu. And my friend Zulu.
My light shines through.
So we've got Taymesan here. Taymesan is...
Sorry, Taymesan.
Taymesan. Oh, okay.
Wow.
Hey.
Get off my podcast.
No, Yoruba people think they own my name.
Oh, you're not Yoruba? No. Wow. Please introduce yourself.
Wait.
My name is Taymesan Emmanuel.
Really?
I'm from Delta.
Yoruba
people do that nonsense. My name is Zulumoke. They call me Zumoke. That's why I just call
I don't understand, but don't it sound better?
I love this intro.
Welcome to the show. I don't even know if you can even call this a show. But again, as a podcast host, as a comedian, as an actor, I just saw you like last week in Ileowo. I'm like, what else? What don't you do?
My brother.
Jazz.
Now only Yahoo, I know they do that.
You don't try.
But this race,
you try small.
I don't just get strength. Today, follow you, they talk for like, I don't feed. It's not for I mean, like, I think that I've always been this boy right from like secondary school. I was always the guy that would organize our choreography for like end of year party. I would sing, I'll be in the drama. I was always that guy. I was always a creative, but I really didn't want to be stuck in one space saying, oh, I'm an actor. I'm just gonna be that. I can be everything that I want to be. So I did chase everything. If tomorrow you need a pilot, I would fly a plane.
I think the very first time I saw you in anything at all was a skit on Instagram.
Skit?
Was it a skit? Sorry, no. Sorry.
I don't do skits.
Visa. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. That's not a skit.
It was probably a clip.
No, I think Visa on Arrival is a mini series, I'll call it. Brilliant series written by Bovi.
Yes.
For Accelerate. And I think that's one of my biggest things that I've ever done in my life.
Yes.
It's the most beautiful production I've ever been on. Amazing stuff.
He said it was.
I mean,
it's been short now.
2 seasons
They've
already.
done 2 seasons.
They will continue.
Bobi said he was tired, but you know, because he's writing in it, he's acting in it. I don't know if he's directed, but
he's everything in it. So they just show up as actors. He's the brain and everything.
So what's it like on that kind of set? Are you guys responsible for your skits, or does Bobi write everything?
your improv.
Okay.
That's the right word.
So when Bovi reached out to me, he said, Alpha, you want to do my series? And my boss, and I just said, yes, now, boss,
Yes,
I go do. She had sent me the script, but because you know how would they do for this Nollywood, I just say, boss, anything you do, I go do. But I don't read the script. So he wanted me to really read it so I could understand what he was trying to do. And the moment I read it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Bovi is someone they call a ruthless creative because you can't write. Like, people are not supposed to write. I'm a comedian, so when you write stuff like that, I'm just like, the range, every single scene there, Bovi wrote it. He got some good actors to act, right?
Yeah.
So we can do our improvisations, like it's not a... But the basics, the body of work is Bovi. But the more we read the work, the more we have improvisation here. We know where to put this, we know our pauses, we know the dramatic things
You start to own the character after.
Yeah. But it's really Bovi.
So what were you doing prior to Visa on Arrival?
I did hustle. Okay, so before, I've always wanted to act, right? But I just really, I think other forms of the art has stretched me enough. Not like I don't want to do the work of an actor. I just don't want to be chasing a lot of productions that will not add value to my own career. Right? So, no shade, I beg you. Do face. So before then, I'd been doing content creation on Instagram. I was hosting, doing some red carpets, right? I think before Visa on Arrival, I'd done Fit of Alakada. They had done Smart Money Woman.
Yeah,
but they were just very small roles, right? Good morning, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry, good morning.
If you greet me, I will slap you. If you greet me here.
I'm sorry.
I'm your mate now. You're the one that puts me here.
I'm
no
very
man, there's
sorry.
no home training. You just tossed it at me. Okay, sir. Let me get to work.
I'm very sorry, sir.
Sorry for yourself. Why are you going? Okoro is the character that really brought me out. And when I say brought me out, I was in Turkey. I was in the airport, and Nigerians were coming to me, say, Officer Okoro.
Officer. And you were at the airport.
And let me tell you, when we shot Visa on Arrival, because of the way we shot it, I didn't expect too much from it, right? Because of, it was so easy, it was our natural. So when the thing come out, every day, Okoro, my name changed from Taymesan to Okoro. I said, what's going on? What's going on? From Tea With, so usually people used to call me Tea With Tay, and it now became Okoro, stamp me. I walk into the club, you see the bouncer telling me to stamp their visas. And I go down on top of the show. So yeah.
Love it.
Ready to lose.
Great mark of success, definitely.
So talk to me about your podcast. How does it feel to have one of the top podcasts in Nigeria?
It definitely feels better than we do.
No, but not go reach there. No.
Amen.
We have to kill people like you first. You know, we just draw one to one.
And to be honest with you guys, the podcast, I had the idea for two. In fact, I had the idea of a show, like a Nancy Sime show, because I'd seen Nancy Sime. I'm inspired by the James Cordings, the who are the people that have
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, all of the live shows, right? Yeah. But I didn't know how we were going to do it in Nigeria, so I was so scared. And you know me, I'm a sort of a perfectionist. I'm like, you guys do okay if not, might not do it. You understand? So for 2 years, I've been stalling. I'd even had like some networks reach out to me to produce. For some reason, it just never made sense to me, and I just kept praying about it. I'm like, you know what? When am I going to do this thing? After Glamour Girls, I'd shot Glamour Girls for like 2 months, right? And I'm like, what's next? I didn't know anything to do. I just really wanted to be working.
Oh, so it started after you shot Glamour Girls?
Yeah, we shot Glamour Girls a year ago.
Yeah, last
right?
year.
So just after Glamour Girls, I had it in mind. So I don't even know what the podcasting be, to be honest. Let's just be honest. I don't hear about it, but you know, I'm like, wait to consign me because I podcast. Yes, I wanted a show like a proper show. I would invite celebrities and all of that. I wanted to have conversations and also be funny, right? So at the time, a podcast network had reached out to me. I just left them in my request. I'm like, I don't know what's going to be fine. I'm looking for a show because the idea of podcast that I had was like radio. Like I wanted to be seen. So I kept praying about it. Eventually, I just said, you know what? What's that to lose? Let me just do this podcast. Me no blind, I know they work because I needed work, right? For some reason, the girls. I said what I said, girls.
Yeah.
I left that
network.
I don't know if it's okay to say it.
You can.
I left that
everybody
network,
knows.
right? So I was about to sign that network. I'm just like, no, let me just call this guy. Me no be like, say no. Say, how far, babe? What's up with your own network? How is it going? Apparently, they had visuals. My current manager, who also is the owner of the network, I just moved back, so he came with all the equipment, London boy vibe, don't set up full studio. So when I walk outside the place, I say, hey, this is a different vibe. Because I already got to the other studio. I say, they don't really promise me visuals, but I'm not sure say they get the facilities for that. But when I walked into this studio, I was like, this place settled. And they'd already promised me visuals, and I'd already seen. So I'd already been on. I said what I said, right?
So you saw that.
It did well. I mean, it was what I wanted, like couch vibe.
And it was very fun. Like
So I'm just like, you know what? Maybe God is pointing me to this direction, or maybe it's not a TV show I need. Maybe I need a podcast that has visuals, right? So we spoke. Once we spoke, all the for 2 years I've been stalling. I just felt light. I'm just like, you know what? Maybe this is the guy. You understand? So we got it. I was still forming. I don't want to sign, but I don't say deep down a day I go die. But I don't know if I'm saying, beg, all of you are the same thing. I knew it was Shay that I was gonna go with.
So Shay owns Aircon Digital. Since he's worried that he doesn't want to say it, so me I'll say it on his behalf.
So Shay owns Aircon Digital. So I got in. To be honest, by the time that I was ready to do Tea With Tay Pod, I didn't know the direction I was going to go with, right? So I didn't know if I wanted to be a show that discusses serious issues or just has celebrity guests. But one thing I knew I wanted was to connect with the people that came on my podcast. I wanted people to see the people that come on my podcast differently, right? So when Spotify asked me the reason for the podcast, I said I wanted to humanize people and also have conversations that can make people feel more human as well and ready to share. And once I started with that, and that became my why, the podcast just fell into place. Like every conversation I had was a hit. The people became very comfortable, and
Let's give us the tea.
Yeah, so
But Taymesan, you have a six-pack, you work out, you look good.
who tells you I get 6 pack?
I'm
You
assuming.
come back lot once.
I'm assuming.
I'm so blessed by the God of the universe that I look good in clothes. But I cannot promise you a 6 pack.
I actually love that. I look good in
I know,
clothes.
let me tell you, like when they try to do like all these Nollywood roles where the boy looks good and nice, they go see my color. I said, I don't feel come on shit. If I come on shit, you look my secret. But now we are thinking of 1.5 pack, but very soon I'm getting there. It's just late night food.
Crazy. Sorry, we drove past Glamour Girls a bit. So how does it feel to be in the most successful Nollywood Netflix original?
Yeah.
So Glamour Girls, it's technically one of my prayers, right? I've always wanted to do soft work, but big amplification. I'm not woman that they set 2 years. This actors that I'm coming out to has been working. Hey, he has paid his dues. I say, God, please let me just know the due to pay. And I think that I got messages from all over the world, like. Now I understand to be Netflix original. Not be say I was in a Netflix. Maybe say we just put out for Netflix. It's coming to Netflix. No, this is a Netflix original. I'm very grateful to Charles.
Technically, but let's carry on.
Yeah, for taking a chance on me. I'm grateful to the entire cast. It was a beautiful experience, and it now has the thing I was looking for. As I wanted to solidify my brand, not just as a content creator, but also like somebody who has a podcast, who's acting. And that's what I really wanted. And I think Glamour Girls has done that for me to some extent, right? So it has given me like what did you call them? A
pedestal.
Yeah, to boost chase. So there's more clarity now. Now I know the direction where I want to go. Do you understand? So I think.
So let me ask you a slightly different question. Tied to this whole soft work thing.
Yeah.
When did you know you wanted to be a star as opposed to a performer?
Since I was 3. Maybe 4.
Okay, so why? Because some people just is the craft, but you sound like Misha is star that I want.
So I don't think I can do it. I'm lazy. I don't think I can do anything else than be a star.
You say you're not Gen Z, you're Gen Z.
No, my own laziness will say, if not the work of star, I would do it. But if there's any other thing, I don't think. So as I was in Warri, I was raised in Warri, right? So as far back as 4, 5, I would tell my granny, say, me I go act for film. She goes, come on for here. When they go kiss people wife for film. Nigeria you go be. And that time, that was the only measure of success that we had in Warri. Whether you're working in Shell or Chevron, they were the big boys. And so my granny thought that me, we don't know where both or not they for anything, I will become engineer. So I did not exactly see anybody that represented. So I ran away. Came to Lagos, got into Unilag, and I chased it. I knew that I was going to be a star, I just didn't know how.
What did you study in Unilag?
History with my sister. I was studying law before. Might tell you, I was studying law before. I was in diploma, right? After I did a few law courses, I say, this is the way you want me. You cannot be a legal counsel and be doing this. I didn't understand. I was doing civil law.
I don't understand.
No, let me tell you what I thought, right? I thought like studying law was going to be like government. I was studying government. I was a A1 government student. I was an A1 literature student. I was always that boy in the arts, right? So when I entered this thing, we call the cram cases. I mean, when they're outside, I was modeling when I got into Unilag, right? So ideally, I should be able to model and come back maybe 2 or 3 days. I was a smart boy, so. But I realized,
working.
We have to cram cases and cite it. I said, this is not for me. So by 200 level, I moved to history. And I had more time to focus on
the modeling.
So for me, I think, I've never said this to Uti, but Uti was somebody I always looked up to at the time. Uti had moved from being a model to Big Brother to acting. I just thought, that's not a bad trajectory. I can copy this, right? So I did modeling for 4 years. I was so broke, and I'm just like,
Wait, what type of modeling now? Commercial
full
modeling
runway.
or like runway?
I don't think I didn't have a commercial. I was hungry. I looked hungry at the time, so I didn't have a commercial look.
Oh my God.
So my neck, I looked like I was Somalian. So if they won't book me for commercial, they go say, no worries, it's wrong.
Or runway fit you because again you can carry
Let
the
me tell you, it was
clothes.
the hunger that brought out the runway. So in lag, I think I weighed like maybe 70 something. Like I was skinny. Like
Yeah, 'cause
I was
like how tall are you? You're like 6'4"?
no, I'm like 6'2", 6'3". But that time I never reached this thing. I did like 6.
Wait, how old were you when you got
It's
into
still
it?
great.
I was 15 when I got into Inlag. I turned
Holy
16 in
shit.
Inlag. Yeah,
They sent you to Lagos at 15.
so let
Or
me
you
tell
sent
you. Let me
yourself.
tell you one thing about and this is not to sound like when you have a dream. I'm not trying to sound very motivational here, but when you have a dream, you're not going to know when to go drive you. By 15, I didn't care if I was going to live under the bridge, but I wanted to live that worry. Like I said, nothing will make me stay here because I also really wanted to become a star very fast. Like I don't want to be like in my 30s and now start saying I want to start doing no, I wanted to be like my 20s, but I know say I'm a star boy, you understand? I really wanted that energy, so I quickly left. I didn't want to audition for movies because modeling had messed me up.
Modeling.
I had suffered, I had strained. I'm just like, you know what, God, if I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna work cool.
Modeling life.
So
God
Tea With
have
Tay now
mercy.
became my main star. So I started making friendships, I started forging relationships. People started seeing me. Also, social media blurred the lines. They were not gatekeepers anymore. So from social media, they can scout you as an actor. You understand? So when people come and see you on social media, they're washing down the brand. Like, please get out. The playing field has been open. It has been level for everybody. You cannot select the people who you think have quality content, right? But it's a playing field that's been leveled. Anybody can drop whatever they want. Ideally, people will be trying to look for a network to start up this kind of thing. But now you guys are recording in a house. YouTube is free. That's what really social media has done for us, right? So
in all of this, I know you said that you're a talker, but I would have assumed you would have tried stand-up.
oh, I'm too scared to try stand-up. How about that?
But why? I'm actually curious, why?
I'm not going to get into very personal things, right? But I'm coming from a place where I've had to. That's why I'm always
So my
talking
next
about
question will
God.
be very personal. Exactly, that was my next question.
I've had to literally gain my confidence by practice, like a muscle, and also just believing that, you know what, this is your next level, this is your next step. The more I get successful, the more confident I become. So as opposed to doing stand-up, which not everybody's doing anymore, not so many people, only people like Bovi can still fill up a whole hotel. I really want to do specials, right?
Oh, okay.
I want to sit down with 30 or 40 people, create a masterpiece of a material or whatever, and just crack them up. Also, I want those people to be my friends so that the level of vulnerability is different. So if they don't laugh, I'll say, so can you not laugh? What did I do bad? I can say, okay, you didn't laugh or you didn't laugh. So I've been through too much for me to just throw myself in. It's going to affect my confidence. But I really also want to not put myself in a place where I will be so stressed out, because as a creative, I'm always in my head. Like, if at any point I'm feeling like, oh, they said so much about me, I don't drop anything for the next 2 months. And that's how I am. So I'm always in.
So do you actively check out your comment section, or you do just?
I used to when I started, right? And I would be suffocating in my room. When I met friends like my friends who are celebrities who they bash every other day, and it's nothing to them. I was like, hey, that's what they do. So I started understanding that, you know what, this thing sometimes not even about, the country is so hard. If you stay in traffic for 5 hours and I'm living my life on the beach, you go vest.
Naturally.
So
There's no version of the world, given how self-aware you are, that you do not know that you have that ability, that likability that drives connection. So have you been using it for evil? No. So the question is, when you are using it for evil, how did you stop? Or do you still use it for
which
evil?
evil? You didn't see what I would have done with this was Sasha, but not favor me. So technically, that evil, I think that, you know, sometimes you might be something to some people, but internally, that's not.
You don't see.
Yes, also because I've always known this Taymesan. For the last 25 years of my life, I've always known Taymesan. So sometimes you know yourself too much that you don't really rate yourself.
Okay.
You don't know that this is a gift, right? So other people see it as a gift, but you have to come to the consciousness that, oh, this is really the thing, right? So I think I'm slowly getting there through hard work, right? But I don't want to rush it as well. I want to know that, oh, this is my cell, and I know that I'm going to do it with my full chest, and when I'm very confident about it. With Tea With Tay Pod, right? One thing the reason why I did that setup like that, I really wanted a feel where you come to my space and sip tea with me. Imagine you came, I invited you guys to my house. I would go to do the tea. I'll call you good evening and welcome to the show. That's not how I'm gonna do it. Like, it's going to be vibes like this, right? So that's really what I wanted, and that's the best way to connect. Because once my guest sits on that chair, right? And I start, the first thing I ask them is that, are there things off limits that you don't want to talk about? That first of all, you could just disarm them because they don't already come ready to say, I'm not going to answer. But I'm not trying to bait you, I'm not looking for clickbait. I just want to connect. And there's so many contents around that you're looking for clickbait. I just really want to connect with people. One of the reasons why I'm doing Tea With Tay is because I'm going through it too. So I want to connect with you. It's just to humanize. Yeah. So once you come from that angle, people are more receptive to your questions. They want to. They don't even know when they don't talk finish because even when they don't want to answer the question, I move. I'm just like, okay, it's fine. You want to. But with that level of vulnerability and they get very comfortable to just share. And it's also the Holy Spirit on my couch because when I come into the room, I said, Holy Spirit, sit there. Sit there. If JSF comes, she should cry. That's a joke, but I was raised by a granny that I feel like she's the funniest person that I've ever met in my life. When we have conversations, right? The way the story they move, there's no point where we don't sit down for that. You understand? So I think she brought this thing out of me. So when I'm gisting, I'm fully neat. It's full apropos vibes, idea. You understand? So,
Quick one. Do you talk anything political on
No.
your? Okay.
No.
Just checking.
It's all over light. It's all over light.
So
I'm a huge fan of the podcast.
Taymesan, like this was amazing. And you were worried about what to talk about. You see?
there's always a vibe, but no, I don't
No, Taymesan is always the vibe. Taymesan is always the vibe. Because even your interviews on your podcast, I listen to your podcast, it just flows. It's just easy. And I'm just like, guy,
It's the Holy Spirit.
again, Sha, just listening to your voice is just...
Damola is okay. You can give him your house.
Asking for 1 million.
I don't mind your house right now.
No, but like, see, the way you talk that one is completely different. If I just say, Damola, see where you're staying, I really like it, you know. Don't you think that you want to hand it over?
At the point I'm renovating my house, and I think
You see, now you're on the
I need a couple of million. Okay, I need some millions.
All right,
But this was good. Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you for coming on board.
Thank you so much
That's
for
I'm
coming,
sure
man.
everyone. Sign us out now. Use your fancy podcast voice.
As a professional.
You have to look at the name.
I
That's the
stand
name.
out in the Limus will meet and greet. Okay. So guys, I've had a great time with Nas, Zulu, and Damola on the Meet and Greet podcast. And my name is Taymesan, signing out on behalf of my 3 colleagues here. who plan to make it to top 10 in the podcast space, and I'm praying for them. I
Come
pray-
and join you.
Yes.
Now you guys will do well. I just really think that consistency from a podcaster who has done this season. I can give you advice as a colleague. Yeah, but I hope that you guys do well with this.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, thanks, guys.